My name is Ana Maria. I am the mother of autistic boys, Sebastian and Ricardo Coleman. They get the diagnosis of autism when they were 2 years old. Basically, the journey started when they were babies because they didn't develop. I was comparing that they didn't develop like my older son. They didn't start to communicate, or I start to notice like difficult to understanding the word and the things that we were telling them. They get the diagnosis when they were 2 years old in the social communication clinic in London, where the doctors observed them and they confirmed that they were in the spectrum. At the beginning, we didn't know how was that. We were very confused, but they get the diagnosis finally when they were 2 years old, and we start this journey trying to help them to improve their lives. Ricardo and Sebastian are 12 years old now, but since they were 2, some of the symptoms that also we start to notice is they have difficulties to sleep. Especially one of the boys didn't sleep through the night or wake up so many times, like scared, like afraid. Sometimes we were concerned that he was watching things because he was very nervous. The whole family was not sleeping. We were not sleeping and we have really rough nights. Other symptom that was very strange for us is they were covering the ears, and we noticed that they didn't cope with the Hoover, with the blender, with the motorbikes, even the sound of the airplanes. They were very sensitive, and we started to use ear defenders and stop going to public places. It was very difficult because even to make a juice at home was an issue. That was very, very stressful time. Other difficulties that the boys were facing was the sensory issues. Apart from the noise that I already talked, there was lots of irritation, like with lights. To go to supermarkets, we couldn't go to a cinema because they were scared of darkness. Go to supermarkets, they get like overwhelmed by the lights. Go to places like too busy or overcrowded. That was always an issue. Other difficulties that the boys were facing was the toilet training. The boys were in nappies until nearly 10 years old. We have to carry nappies and wipes everywhere because looked like they were not aware when they need to use the toilet, and they were just doing in the pants. Maybe some people say, that's nothing, but when you go a big 10 years old and you have to change him like a baby, it's very stressful, very difficult. Go to public places, or you have to run to look for a toilet. That was something that really, really make us quite stressed. We as a family, we try to deal with the symptoms of autism the best we could, but we were struggling in daily basis. Some of the steps we did to try to give to them a better quality of life was basically seek for biomedical advice. They get chelation. That was the detox from heavy metals. We tried that one as well. We went for gluten-free diet. They went 1 year gluten-free diet. I didn't see many changes. Actually, that was a struggle because they didn't like. Also, we noticed that Sebastian, especially one of the boys, has lots of allergies, start to develop allergies to certain kind of foods. And we say we have to do something bigger, something main, something that could help them actually to cover all the issues. Because that was not only physical, psychological, developmental, but they were actually struggling in many ways. Before the treatment, a typical day for the boys were like, most of the time, Ricardo was rocking in the carpet, rocking, just seeking for sensory input. And Sebastian like play with water and straw, just focus on one little thing. They didn't engage that much. And also at school, they used to report that they didn't participate, they didn't engage, they trying to bring them, but it was always like the need for one-to-one to be able to engage or do some kind of work. Before the treatment, we always wanted to be able to, for example, to have a proper meal with our kids, that they could sit down at the table with us. We wanted that we could go out to a restaurant, public places, without have to run away from people or from the noises. We always wanted to do this kind of things. And I think we're doing now. It's really nice. It's really nice because we have achieved lots of the stuff. 3 years ago, something terrible happened, and that was that my son Sebastian started to develop really bad self-harming because the frustration, the impossibility of communicate, or anxiety at school. We really don't know what was the main trigger. But the thing is, he started to self-harm. He was banging his head, biting his hand, but the main thing was the banging head that was affecting him. He was banging head against radiators, against the concrete in the floor, the metal frame. One day they called us because they broke the main glass in reception or in the school. Other day they have to call ambulance. He banged his head really bad and he was taken for a brain scan. It was lots of things that were really escalating our concerns, and we decided to look for a different option for something. We were actually desperate to find a way to improve his mood, because he was like desperate, didn't sleep well, didn't eat well, had so many allergies, and now self-harming. He was always purple head and so bumpy, and yes, I think that was the main trigger. I started to search for optional treatments or different kind of things that could help my children. Basically, I didn't know what I was going to find. I just was typing in Google and I came across stem cells and some testimonies of parents that were showing how their kids have improvement. And I think that developed my curiosity, and I started to build by searching. It took like 2 years to make the decision, but I was searching and looking, and actually I became friends with some parents in Facebook just to be nosy and yes, and to get to know more. But I was at the beginning quite skeptical. I was quite scared. But to be honest, when I found Swiss Medica, I have lots of answers, and I have chats, interviews with the doctors from Russia, and I start slowly to build my confidence. I say, okay, that's something that we could do. That's something that I start to feel more safe, maybe. And yes, we made the decision to move forward to the treatment.
My name is Nigel Coleman. I am the father of Ricardo and Sebastian, 12-year-old twins who's been diagnosed with autism. So the obstacles that we had was the opinions of other people, family members and friends. Finance was mostly the main obstacle that we had to overcome, as we had to raise money in order to have enough money to do both boys at the same time. And we believe in our hearts that we are doing the right thing with stem cell treatment. We believe that the stem cell treatment is going to help them to develop and help the neurons activate so they can become more visually and active in terms of themselves, knowing what their surroundings and what they need to do in general lives in the day-to-day operation. We decided to go with Swissmedic as we have done research on Swissmedic. We also had a consultation with a consultation person in Russia who had explained to us about stem cell treatment, and they have given us the confidence that what we were doing is for the benefit of the children. They have reassured us of all that will take place during the procedure of the stem cell treatment. So that's another reason why we have made our solid decision on why we choose Swissmedic Russia. We would then appointed to go to Serbia to carry out the actual treatment. Everything in Serbia, we arrived from start to finish, everything went smoothly, everybody treated us well, and we were looked after, and everything went really well. So we were overall happy with choosing Swissmedic to carry out the stem cell treatment for Ricardo and Sebastian. So after the stem cell treatment, we are now 3 months past having the treatment. I can say that we are very grateful for the treatment. We are very grateful that the boys has returned back to London, and there's no major issues, there's no major side effects. In fact, we haven't seen any side effects of any kind that is prohibited them from doing their normal day-to-day or affecting them in school. In fact, it's the opposite. They have shown development, improvement in school, at home, surrounding areas, and then in general, their actual general well-being has changed. Their eye contact, their understanding has improved. Their connection between what's going on and what we are translating to them has changed and developed. So we can see small developments, which we are very, very grateful for. We only can look forward in a year's time to see the further progressions that they have made. But the changes that they have made is, it's good changes, and it's good development from their half. And we are happy to see that. I mean, we know that the stem cells treatment is working. Things is happening within the neurons, and it's starting to reflect on the children in their general well-being and their understanding and educational side of it. So yes, we're all happy and grateful for all that we have put them through, and they have now come out the other side and starting to see the fruits of having the stem cell treatment.
The stem cells treatment at Swissmedica basically consists in IV injections that the kids, both of my kids receive 2 types of stem cells. They receive cells from donors. One is from umbilical cord, and also for cells from the placenta of the mother. They received 2 shots in different days, and that was very nice and successful because it was not painful and the kids were sedated. The reason for that is because they were very anxious, they were quite scared of the needle, and they were not cooperating. But I saw that some parents just go on fantastically, the kids just allowed them to do, and it was very nice. But in my case, we have to sedate the boys. They have their own turns, but the doctors were very kind, very patient, and they managed them very well. When they were under sedation, no full sedation, but they were like cooperating, no? They receive in a very calm environment. They receive the cells, 1 bag of cells one day and next day the other. In the night of the treatment, I speak about myself, my husband was very relaxed, but I was quite, looking at them, observing. I was expecting like something. They really didn't have side effects. Everything was relaxing. One of the boys slept like a baby. Everything was fine. With Sebastian, we have a little issue because Sebastian used to suffer asthma. His levels of oxygen dropped a little, but the doctors were there all night monitoring and made sure that he was fine. He was given a little of oxygen, and with the inhalers we managed, and next morning he was jumping around like nothing happened. After the IV treatment at Serbia, we traveled back to London, and the clinic has provided us with a frozen bag with stem cells, like a booster, that is a little 30 ml spray, and we used to do 2 a day each boy, in the morning and in the evening, and we can see that these cells are helping, because that was like the booster to get the system running. Yes, we did, and we noticed lots of improvements. At the beginning, we were quite just skeptical, with lots of expectations, with just looking. but we start to notice the first improvement maybe 1 week after we come back to London. And the thing is, the kids start to rest and sleep all night, sleeping through the night, very peaceful. That was quite quiet time. We start to notice the reduce of the happiness of Ricardo, who was always clapping, screaming, jumping. He's a happy child. But when you hear your child clapping 6, 7 hours, it's really that can hurt your ears. And also his hands were very dry because the clapping, the constant clapping all the time was extreme. Now we notice that all these things has reduced. They are more calm. With Sebastian, we have to say that he has no, for the last 3 months, he hasn't need any inhaler. He's only using some sprays for high fever. But the extreme allergies, the frustration that used to make him bang his head all the time, screaming, biting, pulling people's hairs, all that behaviors slowly during these 3 months has actually reduced a lot. Actually, for the last month, we haven't seen any kind of aggressivity. I think that's a massive improvement for us because it's giving to him like a more relaxing time. Last week we have the reports from the school, the end of the school year, and that was amazing, I have to say, because it's first time we receive a nice report that say, oh, Ricardo is engaging, Ricardo is not spending the whole day rocking in the carpet, Ricardo is following his instructions, he's going from class to class. He needs very few prompting. Any of the boys is one-to-one anymore. For the last 3 months, they are not one-to-one. The school is very good. They encourage them. But we notice that it's them who are calmer and more able to cooperate. That's something that for us is huge. The day-by-day improvements we notice, and for us is amazing. Like the fact that the boys, they both sit down now. We have a meal as a family. They sit down and they remain from beginning to the end until finish the dinner. That is something that didn't happen before. They are like more social and accepting more when people come to the house. And also we are able to go to restaurants and places like this. Still, we try don't go where this overcrowd, but we can see that they sit down, they engage, and they manage. They tolerate. That's the thing. They tolerate. It's like Ricardo is like a brand new boy. He really tolerates. They using the toilet by themselves. We are not supporting there. We notice that they have achieved, like, go to the toilet, clean themselves, wash their hands. That's things that we always have to be aware of that and supporting them, but they are getting, like, slowly, they're getting more independent. But for us, for a last of just it's nearly 4 months now, it's a huge achievement because for us, the life in the house is easier and it's calmer. Now, for example, we can sit down with them on the table. We try to do one-to-one because it's lots of things that they haven't done for a long time. But now they are start to use the scissor, they start to use cutlery, they start to do some puzzles. They still need prompting, but now we can see they have the input to learn, and that for us is important. Before it's like they didn't care. Now I can see that they want to learn and try new stuff, and we are there to support everything. It's lots of expectations still, lots of things that we're waiting, but at the moment we can see that stem cells was a big push in their life and in our lives, and it's something that I might think to do in the future again, to give like that booster to see what the results can be. After the stem cells treatment at Sweet Medica, I could say that our life is easier at home, that we find more enjoyable the day by day. One of the reasons that I maybe didn't mention before is like my kids were very sensitive to sound, and now we notice that it's less. And one of the voices actually is done because we don't see them cover the ears anymore. We don't see them like being afraid when I hoover, clean the house, or make a juice. Maybe Sebastian still run away. It's like he doesn't like, but he doesn't get in that stage of anger or nervous that he used to be. I mean, for us, it's really nice because it's smooth. The running of the house is smooth, and we actually can go to places, can do activities. Sebastian and Ricardo has developed, or they are in the process of develop, that concentration. We can sit down and do activities like puzzles. They more focus on numbers or letters. That is something that before they didn't show interest. I mean, it's 4 months, but that's the way we see that the things are turning better, and they are like showing cognitive development. Before they were developing some skills, but now it's more like functional skills, like how to make a toast, these kind of things. They can use the toaster. They can, even Ricardo is trying to fry eggs. They can help me to braid the egg. We can do recipe together. This kind of engagement that wasn't before.
We were happy to go ahead with the procedure of stem cell treatment, and we are just looking forward to seeing the development, the progression over the weeks and the months moving forward. As we can see already, there are some signs of improvement in the boys, which is we are very pleased to see, and we are happy to see that the stem cell treatment is having an effect on them. It's a gradual progress, but it's a progress that's moving forward. So we are happy with the progression going forward. We hope that in the future we could continue to do another batch of stem cell treatments for the boys, because we believe that it probably would help them progress them to the next level. Hopefully at some stage we can raise enough money and do another treatment for the boys.
I could say that our life is easier now after the treatment. We noticed that it's easy, like the day by day. As a mother and as a professional that work also with autistic kids, I think that stem cells at Swiss Medica has actually helped me to achieve lots of things. And I would like to recommend to other parents that take the chance to search, to analyze, to get maybe the free consultation and get to know there's new opportunity, and there is hope for us, for the parents of autistic kids. Is hope. Just don't give up and think that we have to be open-minded and search for possibilities, because every little improvement on their lives is also to help the family. The entire family is being affected, and when you improve in such a things like engagement, like concentration, attention, cognitive learning, it's a massive impact in your happiness and make your life easier. I think I would recommend. I am very happy, and I'm waiting in the future to repeat the treatment for my boys and to see how far they can go. I think it's about them. It's about take risks and trust people. It's professionals in Swiss Medica that can help you, and they are willing to support you. Just be aware of that.